top edge of your blackboard, just like that, and kind of crease it a little bit. And then you're going to want to take your straight edge and lay it along the line where the tissue paper ends, and just make a pencil mark along that edge, and then you can just fold it back over. And then you're going to want to take your rubber cement and put a thin, even coat of rubber cement on the portion of the blackboard above the line you just made. So it'll be about 1.5 inches of the top of rubber cement. And you're going to want to let that dry. And you're also going to put a thin, even coat of rubber cement on your tissue paper in the area that you folded over. And you don't have to go beyond the edges because that won't be touching the blackboard. So just let both of those dry. And then you're going to want to take your tissue paper again, and once those are dry, you'll fold it back over, and just like you did on the front, use your palms to seal from the middle and press firmly out to the edges, and that will seal the tissue paper to your blackboard. Alright, and next you're going to want to cut this excess tissue paper off because you don't want all that hanging off the edges. So take your cutting surface or your cutting mat and place it under the side, one of the sides that you'll be cutting off. You're going to want to start with the sides first and then cut the bottom. So I'm going to place it under one of these sides. And then take your straight edge and lay it on top of your blackboard, lining the edge up with the edge of the blackboard. And that way you can cut with your X-Acto knife along that edge, and the straight edge will protect your blackboard from being cut while you're cutting that. So start from the top of the board and make a cut all the way to the bottom along that line. Sometimes you have to use more than one stroke. Just make sure that you are careful about where the cut goes. Alright, so I did that edge, and you can just kind of tear that off carefully so that it doesn't get in your way. Alright, and then I'm going to do the other side, because you do the sides first. So just place that along there and cut from the top down. Being careful not to cut your blackboard. Alright, and you can tear that one off as well. And then lastly, you want to cut along the bottom. You don't want to go too fast when you're making these cuts because it could tear your tissue paper if you're using thinner tissue paper. Take that off. Alright, and then once you're done with that, you should have something that looks sort of like this on the front, and then that's on the back. And what you're going to want to do is bevel your tissue flap. It just makes it easier to fold it over. And how you do that is you measure from the outside edge in about 1.5 inches, so about that far, and make a little mark at the bottom of your tissue flap, just where it ends. So then you'll have 2 little marks right here on this line, about 1.5 inches in. And then you're going to want to draw a line from that mark you just made to the corner of your presentation board. So you're going to be making 2 little triangles on the outside edges. that. Kind of hard to see the lines with the pencil on the tissue flap, but you have two little triangles on the outer edges. And then once again, you're going to take your straight edge and lay it along that line. And then use your X-Acto knife again, and you're going to want to press very lightly so that you don't cut into your presentation board too much. You want to cut that as little as possible. And just press very lightly and cut through the tissue flap along that line. And then you can just take those triangles off of there. Just like that. So you have something that looks like this. And then you can use your rubber cement pickup, once again using short strokes in one direction to just pick up the excess rubber cement that's on your board so that you don't have any showing. And then use your kneaded eraser to erase the pencil lines that are showing on your blackboard. Alright, and there you go. So that's what the back should look like now. It should be clean and with straight lines and edges. And now you have a clean, professional looking board with your logos presented on it, and a tissue flap that can be flipped over to present those logos, and flip back down to protect them when they are not being presented. This is the process that you'll most likely use when presenting logo design projects or other type of Illustrator projects in the graphic design program or in the graphic design field as a professional. But be sure to ask your teacher if this is how they would like your projects presented. Some teachers might ask for a different way. If you have any questions on this process, you can email me at stu@matcmadison.edu. So thank you for watching this presentation today.